Did you know that the most career advice given to software engineers will absolutely wreck your chances of making a decent money? In this video, I will expose scams that will be ruining your career and show you how to get hired faster than 99% of software engineers. I learned it through 13 years of my career, and today I make more than 95% of software engineers in Silicon Valley, even though I have never lived in the US. Let's start with myth number 1. Have you ever heard that you need to learn algorithms and grind lead code to get a well-paid job? The truth is, if you're applying for jobs from outside of the United States, you probably won't get a single lead code question. Why? It's simple. Companies like Google, Netflix, or Meta use lead code interviews to filter candidates. They get thousands of applications every single day, and they need a deterministic way to find the best candidates. If you know algorithms and you pass their coding interview, they assume that you know enough computer science to solve any real problem. The irony is, the software engineers who are the best in those interviews aren't the best on the job. The big tech companies know it, but they still prefer this style of interviewing because it reduces bias. Either you solved the problem or you didn't. So unfortunately, if you want to land a job at Google, you will need to learn how to solve lead code puzzles. Fortunately, companies in other parts of the world don't have the luxury of endless candidates, so they need to focus on what actually matters: real code challenges and your past experience. They don't care if you know how to implement quicksorts, because on the job you will just Google it. What they want to know if you are able to solve their problems, and the fact that you don't know basic of computer science isn't important for them. I mean, you should learn algorithms anyways, in the end you want to be competent, but you don't need to know them by heart. You should have a mental model in your head and know what to look for. And believe me, this knowledge isn't as common as you think. A few years ago, I interviewed a junior developer and asked him about the most challenging problem he ever solved. He told me the story about his internship at one medium-sized grocery store that just launched an online shop. The shop was struggling with organizing deliveries, and they wanted to build a mobile app that would solve this problem. He needed to find the shortest path between several deliveries to optimize the work of their delivery man. Nothing more than that. Let's be honest, these path-finding algorithms are taught in the first year of computer science, so I thought he would tell me how he applied his CS knowledge. Oh boy, I was so wrong. He didn't use any algorithm. He just randomized the list of orders and ended up reducing delivery time anyways. It was a pure luck. This interview happened in 2017, and back then everyone who could write code could easily get a job. Unfortunately, today isn't as easy, and it brings us to myth number 2. Did you know that if you are a software engineer and you want to blow up on Instagram or TikTok, you need to make only one kind of video? This video is a day in life as a software engineer. I bet you've seen many of those videos of 20-somethings enjoying their lives at Google campus. But if you missed it, let me sum it up for you. Working 3 hours per day, drinking 3 lattes and heavy sushi lunches. It is inspiring and intriguing at the very same time. I mean, how Google can pay $200,000 salaries to junior engineers without any experience and expect them to work so little? Don't get me wrong, I was jealous too. But everything changed when I landed my first remote job from the United States and my fellow coworkers explained it to me. So how can a junior engineer make $200,000 salary? It's because of the scarcity. There is a constant battle for talent between all FAANG companies. Simply speaking, there aren't enough software engineers on the job market, and it means that big tech companies are forced to either bring people from abroad or hire interns, and they do both. So if you are studying computer science at one of the best universities like MIT, Stanford, then you have a great chance to land an internship at Google or any other FAANG company. What you need to do is smash algorithms for a few months and pass the interview. Obviously, the hiring bar for interns is way lower than for other applicants, so that's how they get there. After 3 months, Google will decide if they want to keep them, and if Google extends them an offer, then they will make it to the top echelon of software engineers by 25. But this brings us to another myth, the myth number 3. What comes to your mind if you think about software engineer from the United States? Personally, I think about a guy in a hoodie that makes at least $300,000 salary. And yes, for a really long time I believed that most software engineers in the United States are so rich. But let me show you how skewed this picture was. Gusto is one of the most popular HR platforms in the United States. Every year they publish a report on tech salaries, and in the last one they revealed that 90% of software engineers in San Francisco, in Silicon Valley, make less than $215,000 per year. San Francisco is one of the most expensive cities to live, and taxes in California are just brutal. The annual salary of $215,000 shrinks to $144,000 after taxes. And don't get me wrong, This is a life-changing amount of money, but it isn't even close to what influencers tell us on social media. I must admit that in the early days of my career, I was dreaming of getting a job in a big tech company that would relocate me to the United States. And you know what? I'm glad it didn't happen. A few years ago, I moved to Dubai and it completely changed my life. Now I make more than most software engineers in San Francisco, and I think you can make it too. But how you can do that? Recently, I analyzed salary data from the best recruiting agencies in the UAE, and I realized that Dubai is becoming the next Silicon Valley. The government invests billions of dollars in AI startups, space exploration, even defense, and this created enormous opportunity for all tech workers. It doesn't matter if you're a software engineer, DevOps engineer, cloud engineer, PM, or a Scrum Master. There is definitely an opportunity for you. And I have great news for you. I did your homework and prepared a Dubai tech salary guide so you don't need to waste hours on market research and speaking to recruiters. You can download it for free using a link in the description, and believe me, moving to Dubai is the easiest way to secure your first six-figure salary, and this brings us to myth number 4. Have you ever got a job because somebody approached you on LinkedIn? Hold on, I know what you might think. LinkedIn is this creepy social network where everybody pretends that they are a thought leader. But did you know that 95% of LinkedIn users don't post regularly? And that's the biggest opportunity that most software engineers overlook. Many of these silent users are actually headhunters searching for the right software engineers to match them with their clients. And it means that if you can create unique market position for yourself, LinkedIn will blow up your career and change your life like it changed mine. In 2019, a gorgeous South African woman DM'd me on LinkedIn and she told me that she knows how to double my salary and asked if I'm interested. I said, hell yes. She was a recruiter and she was looking for a software engineer with cybersecurity background. I was her perfect match. Unfortunately, we didn't match on Tinder, but that's another story. Back then, only 200 software engineers in Europe were working in the cybersecurity field, so my background gave me a unique position on the job market, and that's how she found me. She wasn't looking for a software engineer that knows Java or JavaScript, but she needed a software engineer that knows how to build cybersecurity products. And that's a very important difference, so let me show you how you can use it to position yourself. First thing first, your favorite programming language doesn't give you any advantage over others. There are thousands of software engineers who know JavaScript, Golang, Python, or any other programming languages, so it doesn't really give you any advantage over others. What gives you an advantage, though, is a domain-specific knowledge. For example, I have experience in building cybersecurity applications, and I design Ethereum staking products that manage assets worth $3 billion. So you can tell that I have very unique and niche knowledge about certain fields, like Ethereum and cybersecurity, right? But have you noticed that I didn't even tell you what programming languages I know? Because it doesn't matter. You must focus on your achievements and unique experiences rather than your tech stack. Maybe you know how to build e-commerce applications, or you are building some sort of fraud detection software for credit card companies. This is your niche expertise that you can use to position yourself on the job market. All you need to do is document your experience on your LinkedIn profile, update your work history, and write down achievements and responsibilities. So let me show you how you can do that. Let's assume that you are building some sort of fraud detection software for one of the credit card companies. Instead of saying developed enterprise Java application for X, you could say, develop a sophisticated fraud detection system that directly contributed to $2 million in annual revenue growth. Do you see the difference? You want to show that your work generates a real value. Instead of talking about tech, you are using business metrics to support your technical expertise. And remember, LinkedIn users are business people, not software engineers. So now let's consider another example. Imagine that you are a front-end developer working in an e-commerce company, so instead of saying develop dozens of e-commerce stores using Next.js, you could say created an advanced A/B testing platform using Next.js that increased conversion rates by 23%. So do you see what I'm doing here? I'm bridging tech with business metrics to prove my competence. And remember, you are talking to business people and you need to speak their language. So what you're gonna do now, you will take those examples and rewrite your own work history on LinkedIn to support your technical expertise with relevant business metrics. So what are example business metrics? This will be generated revenue, cost saving, or conversion rates. You will definitely have no problem spotting business metrics in your career because your product manager is asking for it. Rewriting your work history on LinkedIn will take you less than 1 hour, and I guarantee you it will change your entire career. I have no doubt that LinkedIn is the best tool to grow your career, but you need to target the right people. Just look at me. It took one DM to make me a millionaire within a few years. So shout out to Talisha because she was the recruiter who messaged me 6 years ago, and you should watch this video next to find out how to get your first six-figure job as a software engineer.